How are you doing today? Welcome to my live. Good evening. Welcome to my live. I'm Adeola Adeyemi. I'm the founder of Talk Mental Health, and I'm super excited about today's topic, given what is going on currently in Nigeria, especially. I thought to come on live to have this discussion, to ask how have you been coping? How have you been coping? So that's my topic today. How have you been coping? So please tell me your name and where you're joining from. Tell me your name and where you're joining from. So I can see Malstring. Thank you for joining. So it's been, I can't even imagine what's been going on in Nigeria. I mean, the prices, I was shocked. Okay, it was first dollar to naira, the rate kept increasing and all. Then pounds, then the prices of things. And I'm like, what is going on? How have you been coping? So I can see Wendy, I can see Langaday. Thank you for joining. Tell me your name and where you're joining from. Today is going to be a very interactive session because I'm very passionate about people's mental well-being, and I know that all this all these kind of price increase, having difficulties in being able to afford basic needs, having difficulties trying to take care of yourself, take care of your family, the anxiety of thinking when you think about where do I get the next meal from, where do I get the next money to take to pay my rent and all of that. So that anxiety can really build up and affect one's mental well-being. And that's why I thought I should come on live and we should have this discussion. So I can see Adua, thank you. I can see Chinwewe, thank you for joining. Please do me a favor. Tell me your name and where you're joining from. So I'm Adeola Adeyemi. If you're just meeting me for the first time, Talk Mental Health, as you can see it on my t-shirt, I am the founder of Talk Mental Health. So I'm a psychiatrist and a psychotherapist. I'm also a mental fitness coach. I founded Talk Mental Health just so we could create awareness about mental health. So I treat people with mental health disorders as a psychiatrist, but as a mental fitness coach, I teach people skills that can help enhance their mental well-being. I am that kind of person that is I'm an advocate of being proactive about your mental well-being. So I teach those skills that would let you protect your mental health, basically. So you don't have to wait till you have any kind of mental health disorder before you take action. And that's because of all of the things that's been going on in Nigeria, especially. I thought to come on live to talk. I know it's all over the world. Yes, prices of, even in the UK, I live in the UK, prices of groceries, all those things, it's on the eye. It has increased. Prices of the fuel has increased and all. But today, I'm specifically concerned about what's going on in Nigeria. And I'm just wondering how you have been coping. I'm just wondering how you have been coping. So I don't mind if anyone is willing to join me on this live. I would really appreciate it. You can just ask, and then I'm going to let you in because I want to have a real conversation with you. I want to know how you've been coping, and let's have a chat on this. Let's see what we can do to preserve our mental well-being. This is not the time for you to now add mental health problems to what's going on. No. So, but please, can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know. Say, yes, I can hear you. I just want to be sure that my audio is good. I can see myself, so I know the video is okay. But I need to confirm if the audio is also good. Do me a favor. Tell me if you can hear me. Then I know that I'm good to go. If not, perhaps I would have to make some adjustments. Let me know if you can hear me. Yes. So that's it. That's what I'm really concerned about what's going on in Nigeria. So if you're joining from Nigeria, tell me. If you're joining from elsewhere, tell me. I know the majority of my followers are from Nigeria. So I know most of my followers are from Nigeria. So perhaps I have more people join from Nigeria. But let me know where you're joining from. I'm just wondering, like, so dollar is now 710. Dollar to naira is now 710. And pounds is now 830 something, or 830, if I may say that. It's actually a range between 750 and 830, depending on who you're buying from. And to my the one that even shocked me most was the tuber of yam that is 2,000. I was saying, what? Tuber of yam. I remember when I was in Nigeria, I would buy, they usually buy it. You can buy it in threes. So if you buy three, I usually buy three for 1,000, sometimes 1,500, depending on how big the yam is. But now, just to buy one piece of yam, one tuber of yam, they said is now 2,000 naira. It's really, really scary. It can be very distressing, and we need to really discuss how you can make sure that in all of this you're still okay mentally. Because given all these things that are happening in Nigeria now, and the fact that there are still insecurity issues, we have problems with good roads, a lot of things going on that has already predisposed people with having mental health struggles. Sometimes, especially if you live in Lagos, you have to wake up very early and get back home late, so your sleep is affected. You're not sleeping well. So I'm like, these are risk factors, are stressors already on their own that are making people prone to coming down with mental health issues. And then we now had this price hike on top of it. I wonder, how have you been coping? Somebody should just say something, please. Tell me, how have you been coping? I'm going to start by saying that, mental health, according to the World Health Organization, if you want to define mental health, is a state of well-being in which you're able to understand your potential. You can cope with normal stress. Right? So let me just assume that normal stress, or let me define stress. Stress is just a reaction to a particular situation, normal response to situation. Say, for instance, there's an increase in a lot of things, and it's becoming stressful. So how do you respond to it? That's what stress is. So our reaction, our bodily reaction, our mind's reaction, and all of that. So your ability to cope with all of this everyday normal stress is it's one of the criteria for mental stability. And that's why I said, let's talk about this. How are you coping? Because if you're struggling to cope, then your mental health is at stake. Because your ability to cope with normal stress like inflation, increase in prices of things in the market, your increase in the dollar to naira rates, that's obviously affecting the prices of things all over the world, especially in Nigeria. Okay, so I don't know. I know I have found a lot of people that have joined me, but please, it's going to be a very quick one. I want you to tell me how you've been coping. I want you to tell me how you've been coping with this. Please tell me how you've been coping with this so that I will understand, and then maybe I'll be able to answer some questions that you might have. All right, so I can see Madly Fitzo joined. I can see Funke Oloyede joined. I may not know everyone that joining me now, but I am Adiola Adeyemi. I'm the founder of Talk Mental Health, and I just need you to tell me the topic of today's IG Live is about coping. A lot of things going on all over the world, especially in Nigeria. And I'm just here to address the mental health issues that we are likely to face if we continue to move on this way. So I can see Joyce Highland Chinelo just joined me. So I need to be sure that you can hear me. No one has answered me. Let me know if you can hear me. I want to be sure about that. So how have you been coping? How have you been coping? I know that when we go through life situation, we just have, sometimes we have to survive. Some people will just continue. Some may not be able to. It has led to people coming down with depression. Some, their anxiety level would increase because of the rate. I know people that are in businesses, they're struggling. You know, I've seen a lot of comments. Thank you very much, Funke, for that comment. So they're saying that because of the price, the inflation and all of that, they are unable to meet up, you know, in terms of their business. They're not really making profits. And it's beginning to get a lot of people anxious. So that's, people are prone to coming down with anxiety disorders if we continue this way, if we're not careful to ensure that we are protecting our mental well-being. So I was defining what mental health is. So a good mental health is characterized by you being able to understand your potential, what you're good at, your ability to cope with normal stress, like what is going on currently in Nigeria, your ability to work fruitfully and productively, regardless of what you're going through. You're still coming up, you're doing what you're doing, you're still showing up, you're very active, you're very productive, and your ability to contribute meaningfully to your society. So in all of this, you've been able to help people. So you see, what I'm saying, mental health is very important. It's a very vital part of our being that we need to take care of. Of course, if you're not mentally okay, I am sorry, I'm afraid there's no way you would definitely be successful. It's going to affect your morale. You're not going to be motivated to do things. Say, for instance, if you have depression or symptoms of depression, you might have low mood. You might lose interest in even coming out of bed. You might not want to eat. You might have problems with sleep and all of that. Let's even talk about anxiety, because that's most likely what most people would face given this kind of situation. So very anxious, you're worried, you're always thinking about what would happen next. So what's next thing? So that you are praying, God, please let this naira come down. Let this naira come down. Naira come down. As in, and you're praying, you're anxious, you're always checking your phone to see when it's going to come down. And then the anxiety builds up. What happens is that a lot of stress hormone would keep building up in your system. You're unable to sleep. You can't eat well. You start having physical symptoms. You know, some people would have diarrhea, some would have palpitations, that's heartbeat, moving very heart rate, fast heart rate, or they're aware of their heartbeat, and a lot of physical health problems. So my question to you again is that how have you been coping? How have you been coping? Let me let you know that we have some adaptive coping styles or coping mechanisms when we're faced with stress, and maladaptive. So adaptive means that these are ways by which our body tries to adjust in a good way. It's adaptive, is considered safe. And then we have the maladaptive, meaning that this is not so good, and we still find a way, because we still have to cope. The body is, our minds are being wired or are designed in a way so that we need to find a way of coping regardless of this. We have to face it. It's a phase in our lives. It's something that we just need to face and find ways of coping. And that's one of the reasons I'm happy that I'm on live today to share this, because I know that if you're not guided on how to cope well in these difficult times, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, you might start doing things that you ought not to do. And that might affect your mental well-being in a very bad way, in a very difficult way. So you have to know how to cope well, how to cope right, if I may say. So yes, things are very expensive. Yes, for some people, they don't even know what to eat, the next meal, how they're going to get the next meal. Some are bothered. School is on break now, so you don't know how to get money to pay the next term school fees for your children. Some is because of their businesses. So businesses is not going well. You have staff that you need to pay. You owe them a lot. You owe them a lot of money, their salaries, and you don't even know how to get it. So how do you cope? How do you cope? So I don't know if anyone is on this live that is willing to join. I'm happy. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. If anyone is willing to join me on this live, just let me know. And then I'll make a request, and I'm gonna let you come on and join on live with me. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about this. So I talked about we have the adaptive ways of coping and maladaptive ways of coping. So one thing I'm going to say is, this is not the time to keep your feelings to yourself. Let me say that again. This is not the time to keep your feelings to yourself. This is the time you have to find ways of letting out your feelings, let out your emotions, let out what's going on inside of you. You can't bottle your feelings now. So it's okay to vent, it's okay to rant, it's okay to talk about what's going on inside of you. Now is not the time to show that, oh, I'm okay, everything is fine, I'm perfect, I'm coping well. It's okay to cry. It's okay to find someone that you can trust, a safe space to discuss your feelings. The other day I posted on my IG page. By the way, if you're not following me, make sure you follow right away. If you're not following me, that's one. If you're not following me, follow me. And then secondly, if you're not on my mailing list, I'm wondering why haven't you joined? Make sure you go to the link in my bio and join my mailing list, because I send newsletters every week. Just like a reminder, things that would help you to ensure that your mental health is in a good state. I mean, this is very good. I think we all need to take care of our mental health now. We all need to take it seriously. So things like joining my mailing list should not even be something you should be thinking about, or you should slack on. You should do it like immediately. Go and join my mailing list so that you get that thing pops up every week. It's like a good reminder for you. I always tell people, you don't have to wait till you break down. Do you know how much it costs to see a therapist? So for me now, I'm a psychiatrist, I'm a psychotherapist. I'm currently in the UK, so I have experience in the UK. If you want to see me, it's a lot. Just go and check my link. You will see what I charge for my 1 hour session. So I charge $299 for my 1 hour session. So I'm saying this, but I still come on live because I know that not everyone can afford it. Some people would have excuses. They rather buy hair and all. Well, we're not talking about that today. But my point here is that if you see someone coming out to share tips on how to protect your mental well-being, someone that on our page or on their page, what they do is educating you on mental health, I think that's free enough. I have a YouTube channel. I put in a lot of content there. So I don't have to persuade you to do all of this, because I know that prevention is better than cure. You don't have to wait till you break down before you do all of this and before you make sure that you do something about your mental. It's more expensive to treat mental health disorders than to prevent it. So follow me, join my mailing list, subscribe to my YouTube channel, do all of this, even if you cannot afford to come for my 1 hour session or my 8-week therapy sessions. If you cannot afford it, you can still get all of this free content from someone that is qualified and experienced. All right. So I was saying something about venting. Now we are dealing with a lot of things. We're going through a lot. It's not easy for anyone. Even here where I am now, it's not easy. I've got family in Nigeria. I've got everyone here. Most of my followers are in Nigeria. Most of people following Talk Mental Health, they are from Nigeria, or that they live in Nigeria. And it's difficult. It's extremely difficult. So at this point, I want you to know that it's okay to let your feelings out. It's okay to let people know what you're going through. This is not the time to form, I'm very okay, I'm perfect. Say it out. Tell people you're not doing well. This is the time to form like a support group. People that you can always call and talk to. Okay, today, this is what I'm going through. I'm not fine. Blah, blah, blah. So this is not, you cannot keep all of this to yourself. Get someone you can trust that you can talk to. I say many times people put on their people rant on their social media pages. They put a lot of posts on there and all. Sometimes people find that therapeutic, and that's okay as long as you're not bullying or trolling people or using nasty words and all that. That's fine. But I'm saying that don't keep those feelings to yourself. It's okay to let out those feelings. And that's a very good way, or I would say adaptive way, to cope with stress. All right. So thank you everyone that you just joined in. I see you all. If you want to join me, please request and let's chat. Let's have a talk on how you've been coping. So I want someone to come on live with me. If you're bold enough, if you're confident enough, come on live with me and let's have this chat on how you've been dealing with these issues. So that's the first thing I've said. Yeah, I can see Dr. Zainab, you just joined. Okay, fine. Thank you for joining. So I said, if you want to come on live with me, just tell me and then let's have a chat on how you've been coping and how you've been dealing with these issues. All right. So, the first thing I've told you, let your feelings out. Don't keep your emotions to yourself. The second thing is that what's the way forward? I mean, yes, I have said this is my feelings. Oh, I'm crying. I think I have poor connection. My connection is bad now, but back now rather. So can you hear me? It says pause due to poor connection. Can you hear me? Please tell me if you can hear me. Tell me. Thank you, Dr. Zainab. Thank you. Okay, yes, you can hear me for her to have answered. All right, so my point is that you have to find a solution. Let's look, what's the way forward? What is the way forward? Some people are doing different things. Some people, they have more than one stream of income. Some people are trying to earn in dollars. Some people are trying to leave the country. My point is, you can't continue to rant. Yes, I said rant. But you can't continue on that level and continue to complain. You become a nag, right? It's just equivalent to you being a nag. So you continue to nag. It's not going to bring any results. There's not going to be a change. So yes, I have said express your feelings, but then you have to start thinking of what to do. You have to be solution oriented. So it may take time for you to get there. It's okay to take your time. But at some point you get to definitely a level where you would start thinking of way out. What's the way out? What do I do? Sometimes the dollar rate would reduce, the prices of things will get better. Sometimes it will increase. You know, it's been like this for a very long time. So the insecurity issues definitely not getting better. The traffic especially in Lagos, is not getting better, I believe. So it seems like things are getting worse. So let's have a plan. Let's have a plan, long-term plan. What do I do? Am I still hoping that things will get better? Or are you having a plan like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and there's a plan for the next 6 months? It helps allay your fears. So if you have a concrete plan on ground, it reduces your anxiety. So it protects your mental health. Like you have a plan, you're not anxious, you're not worried, you're not open, just hoping and waiting for a miracle to happen. You have a plan. Do you want to leave the country? Do you want to earn more in dollars or in foreign currency? Do you want to have multiple streams of income? Do you want to start something new? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to start doing something different from what your 9-to-5 job and all? You have to start thinking about this. Yeah, you have to start thinking. I don't know if I'm making sense. If I'm making sense, please let me know. So I mean, those are the ways by which you can adjust, or let me say adapt to this stressful situation. I know it's tough, I know it's difficult. I can only imagine, because when I heard a tuber of yam is now 2,000 naira, I'm like, what? I heard bread is more like it's double the price. And then, the cooking gas too. I can't even believe some of these things. I mean, I'm like, what? When did I leave Nigeria that it has really turned this bad? And honestly, I don't think there's going to be something, except if God comes down from heaven, then that will be like a miracle. Yes, get your PVC. Yes, you're going to vote. But even if we vote the right person into the government in Nigeria, I don't think the change will be so drastic. Things would change almost immediately. I don't think so. So let's not start hoping or depending on the government to make the change we want. Your mental health care is your responsibility. It is not for the government. I mean, if you know how much is put into health system, in terms of money that is allocated for health, you won't even You won't even be dependent on the government to help you. Anyways, let's not even talk about mental health. It's even way low on the list of the government in terms of, insurance or health insurance and all of that. So being proactive about your mental health, taking care of your mental health, taking a lot of things seriously is vital, because you don't even want to break down. You don't even want to wait, because it's going to be more expensive. I understand that things are hard, things are difficult, a lot of things are expensive, it's difficult for you to get a job. I know a lot of people would have different complaints on this live, and that's why I'm saying, if you want to join my live, just if you want to join, please request, let's have a chat, because I've heard from people. I have a lot of, from my family, they are in Nigeria. I have friends in Nigeria, so I've really researched, and a lot of people have told me stuff. But just want anyone that is on this live that is willing to chat with me, request, and I'm happy to have a chat with you. I want to know how you've been coping. All right? So things are not going to change drastically. No, there won't be like tomorrow, that story in the Bible where something just happened, and that's like a miracle, right? It's a miracle, but I don't see that coming, or I don't even see that happening anytime soon in Nigeria. I pray something good happens. Don't get me wrong. I pray something good happens, but it seems like it's going to take a while. So the damage is so bad that it's going to take a long while for things to, change to what we really want. And at this point, we are responsible for our mental well-being. You have to do some things to protect your mental well-being. Funke said something. I don't want to leave the country. I can earn more, but that doesn't reduce the anxiety around. You see? So yes, we have security issues. Thank you for sharing, Funke. We have security issues, even if there's a lot of money. For some people, it's not even money that is the problem. They have enough money. But what about the insecurity issues? How do we survive? How do we? I mean, I can only imagine. Yes, I lived in Nigeria for a very long time, all through my years, yes, before I came last year to the UK. And I understand, I understand what you are going through, because you being able to sleep well, is trying to sleep and feel okay while sleeping, and not thinking someone will burgle your house, or you be faced with a lot of some insecurity issues and all, going to work and coming back home. You have to pray, you have to fast, and protect yourself, cover yourself with the blood of Jesus, just because there's a lot of insecurity in the country. That's anxiety provoking, and I agree with you, Funke. But then sometimes some things are not within our control. I guess that's why religious activities is on the high in Nigeria. I mean, people, you don't have a choice than to pray now. You have to pray and fast, because you have the control over it. You can't do anything about it. You can only trust God to help you. And that's why it's important for you, as you trust God totally. So if you're trusting God, it helps your mental health as well, because I always say, when it comes to mental well-being, it's your holistic well-being. You have your spiritual life, your mental life, and your physical life. So once you can entrust, if it's what you're trusting God, entrust it totally, and don't make sure you're not worrying, because sometimes when we trust God, we also worry. So we pray and worry, and that's not faith. So if you want to really trust God totally. Know that I'm trusting God. You don't lean on your own understanding. You know that God will keep you safe. And I think that's what works. But majority of people in Nigeria, they pray to God and they're still very scared. They are very worried. So what I would say, I always tell people that things are not within your control. You have to let it go. It is not within your control. The insecurity issues in Nigeria is obviously not within our control. We cannot change it. We cannot do anything about it. We only have to ensure we let it go. Let God have his way, and protect yourself as much as you can, and try to distract yourself. Ensure that you do things that would help your anxiety reduce, because you don't want to add anxiety issues on top of what's happening in Nigeria. So not everyone would leave. I mean, I know not everyone would leave Nigeria. Some people will still stay in Nigeria. If everybody leaves Nigeria, in fact, what would happen? Or it's not possible. So what would happen? What would be left? Even for some people that are trying to leave, it's very difficult. I have a lot of friends, a lot of siblings, and all that. They want to leave. Come to school in the UK, but it's difficult. Nigeria is even making it difficult for them to pay school fees, and I'm like, God, how? I mean, I don't even know what to say. It's devastating. How long are we supposed to do this? So my question today still remains: how have you been coping? How have you been coping? Anyone willing to join me? I'm happy to accept you. Let's have a chat. How have you been coping? So I've mentioned 2 things. Let out your feelings. The second thing I said, think of way out. What was the way out? What are the things you could do? Alternatives. Have a plan. Then the third thing I think I'm going to mention today is that you need to build your support system. Build your support system. It's very important in this critical time for you to have some people that you can trust, that you can talk to, that can help you, that can support you, encourage you. When I mean support, it's not even always about money, but those people that can give you like a pat on the back, encourage you and all. We all need that, at some point in our lives. So make sure that you are building your support system. You don't have to wait till you need before you build. Remember, you have to, first of all, invest in people. Invest, network, check on people, so that when you need them, you'll be able to reach out to them and they'll be happy to help you. So start thinking of how to build that support. It's very essential, because these are ways, little things, people encouraging and all, it goes a long way to protect your mental well-being. So do you have any questions? Anyone has questions, comments, anyone that's willing to come join me and let's have a chat about this? I'm happy to answer, but I also want to tell you that I am more than happy to help. So if you need my help in any way, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm a psychiatrist, I'm a psychotherapist, and I think that's what makes me a unique therapist, because I'll be coming in with my knowledge, my expertise in both fields to help you. So if you need my help in terms of you're feeling very anxious, you're having mental health struggles, whatever it is you're going through, and you're not quite sure on how to handle things, I'm more than happy to help. Reach out to me, come to my DM, or go to our website, www.talkmentalhealth.org. Reach out to me and then book a session and we'll have a chat about this, on how to go about it. So I also want to mention this before I answer your questions. You have to be aware of some maladaptive ways by which people cope. Some people are, dealing with drugs, using drugs to cope, to numb their feelings. I don't know if you're on this live or you're watching the replay. I just want you to know that you're making things worse for you. And it's best for you to get the help you need if you notice that you've been dependent on drugs. Say, for instance, alcohol. Some it's sleeping pills because they aren't sleeping well. So they're using substance. No, let me not say substance. They're using sleeping pills. So they started from sleeping pills and they become dependent on the pills. And they can't sleep without the pills. It's best to find out why you're not sleeping well rather than just taking care of the symptom of insomnia. So I think Tunuhap is here today. I think they have a discussion about insomnia on their Twitter space, and also I really, really love that, because it's becoming very serious now. People are not sleeping well, and the first thing they want to do is to take pills to help them sleep, rather than digging deep and knowing why this is so. So this is a maladaptive coping mechanism, using substance, taking alcohol or whatever pills, just so that you could be calm or if it's prescribed, that's okay. But if it's not prescribed, then there's a problem. Yes, just be content. Just ask the question now. Is taking melatonin okay? I believe melatonin is a prescribed medication, and we use it for people with insomnia and also depression in some cases. So yes, it's okay if it's prescribed, but if you're just buying it yourself to use, then I'm wondering why you can't sleep without pills. So if it's prescribed, I believe that your doctor must have assessed you, and your doctor perhaps think you need that drug. That's why you're on it. But if you're buying it yourself to use, then you're self-medicating, and that is not good. You need to see a doctor, let them know what's going on with you. Perhaps melatonin might not even be what would be recommended for you. So I hope that answers your question. Just be content. Okay, so that's Bethia, right? Yeah, just be content should be Bethia. So maladaptive ways by which people cope: substance abuse. Some people will get really angry, outburst of anger, transfer of aggression. So as I said, just say it's the way you are feeling. If you are feeling it and you address it immediately, it will not build up, and you won't transfer aggression to someone else. Some people, they will build, the emotion will build up, and when they get to a place, someone that hasn't done anything to them, that's when they will now open that. Wow, everything will come out. And perhaps that will spoil the relationship, will affect the relationship they have with that person. So outburst of anger is a maladaptive coping mechanism. Don't say, oh, I just said my mind. You've said it in the wrong way. You could have said it in better ways. It's maladaptive. It's not a good one. All right. Other things people do. I think that's all I have on my mind now. Substance, maladaptive coping. Some people might start overeating. Some people might start craving sugary things. That's a maladaptive way of coping. We call it emotional eating or something like that. So when you notice that you're doing that, then you perhaps need to, just because I know it's Bethia. So you perhaps need to find out why. Maybe you're stressed. Maybe you need to let out that feelings you have inside of you. And then when you understand it, you come back to your normal self. You won't start. So if you're that person that normally craves for sugary things, that's okay. But if you notice a change in your eating pattern, you're overeating, you're undereating, perhaps it might just be that you're going through some emotional stress that you need to address. I don't know if that makes sense. If you have any other questions, please let me know. I'm still waiting for that one person that will join me. If you want to join me and let's have this chat, let's have this conversation. How have you been coping? What are you doing? How are you surviving? How are you coping? Okay? So any other question? I want us to understand that our mental health is very important. See, I won't lie to you. If you are not mentally okay, I don't mean you have depression. So maybe sometimes when I say you're not mentally okay, people think, oh, so you think I have depression. There's nothing wrong with me. I reject it. God forbid. Before you start saying that, when I say you are not mentally okay, I don't mean that you have a mental health disorder. Okay? I don't mean that you have a mental health disorder. So I've explained to you what mental health is. So if you're struggling to cope with normal stresses of life, such as what is going on currently in Nigeria, then your mental health is struggling. So if you're struggling to cope with understanding yourself, you don't feel fulfilled, you're not doing well at your workplace, you're not being able to, meet up with the deadline and all that, then your mental health is at stake. So yes, you don't have a diagnosis of depression. Yes, you're not taking medications for anxiety, but your mental health is at stake. Something is wrong. So if you cannot think straight, if you're being forgetful, if you're struggling to sleep, if you're always angry, you're irritable, these are signs that something is wrong with your mental health. So I always say that mental health is like a continuum. So from 1 to 100, think about like an imaginary line from 1 to 100. 1 is that you're mentally stable, you're perfect, you're okay. 100 is at the other extreme where there's mental health disorders like depression, anxiety, schizophrenia. So we fall on in between this line. In our everyday life, you can be number 20 today and tomorrow fall down, move up to like 50 because of a stressor. So yes, you don't have a disorder, but something is wrong with your mental health. You're struggling, you're emotional, you're always crying, right? You're always irritable, you are angry, you have some things on your mind, you have outbursts of anger today, tomorrow you are finding it difficult to sleep. Then you need to do something to get yourself back to like number one. That is what self-awareness helps you to do. That is what being mentally aware helps you to do. I don't want you to get to level 100 before you do something. Level 100, we've assumed that is when there's the diagnosis of depression and anxiety. I want you to be conscious and aware enough of what happens inside of you, like what's going on. So when my normal self, I wake up 6 a.m. and I'm happy when I wake up, but I woke up today and I'm a bit grumpy. What is going on? What have I thought about? This is what will keep you mentally stable. Remember, Talk Mental Health is all about being proactive about your mental health. Dr. Adiola is all about prevention, preventive mental health services. What do I do? So when you're aware of these symptoms, you know. So you know what to do to get yourself back to like number one. That is where mentally stable people are. So that's my point. When I'm saying you're struggling with your mental health, I ain't saying that you have a mental health disorder yet. But I'm just saying that be aware if you have those symptoms coming up, what do you do? And that's why I'm really concerned about what's going on in Nigeria. And I thought to come on live to share this and see how people have been dealing with these difficulties. Because it's enough to cause a mental health disorder. All right, so I have seen some comment here. Yeah, so Bethia has said daily journaling has been really helpful for me. It helps me to process what I am feeling. Fantastic. I am an advocate of mindful journaling. I always tell my clients, anyone that has come in contact with me. By the way, Bethia joined my, Audacious 4-week self-awareness program. So that's where I got to meet her. We met and all. So, and Bethia, I know you understand that I've always said, let's journal. You have to journal, write down your thoughts, how you're feeling. Journaling is not only about even what you're thinking about or your feelings. It's also about what you're grateful for. So we can do gratitude journaling. You can vent and write down your emotions. Someone has hurt you badly and you want to express it. You don't want to say it to someone. You can write it in your journal. It helps relieves that pain you're feeling. You let it out in a way. So daily journaling, mindful journaling is very effective. It helps to protect your mental health. It preserves your mental health. All right. So yes, thank you for that comment, Bethia. Funke said, in a situation where everyone is stressed, how do you lean? How do you lean without further compounding their challenges too? How do you lean? Funke, I don't understand your question. Is it how do you learn? How do you lean without further compounding their... People are stressed. I really don't understand, but I'm just going to give my comment based on the little I could get from your question. Everyone is stressed. You don't want to compound what their stress. You don't want to add to what they're feeling and all. Sometimes it's difficult, but we can always show kindness to people, even when you're going through stuff. There's a way it helps you. So, yes, you're stressed. Yes, you're looking for someone to talk to. But a little kindness can help, help you. It would help the person you're showing that kindness towards. And it would also help you in return because you feel good that you've helped someone. So I don't know if that makes sense with what you said. How do you lean on them for support? So of course it's difficult. You can't lean on someone that needs help for support. Perhaps both of you would fall. So you need to look for someone that is strong enough to listen to you, that is able to take what you're about to say. Because someone that needs support cannot lean on another person that needs support. Both of you might fall, except if you're sure they are in their happy state at the time and you can quickly chip in what you're going through. Because it's important to note that when you are seeking for support or leaning on someone for support, it's not even about them be stressed. If they are not receptive, they are not willing to listen to you, I'm sorry, you're gonna end up feeling worse because they might snap at you or do something dismissive, that will be dismissive of your feelings, and that would hurt you more. So in choosing people to talk to, in choosing people to confide in, you have to be careful that you can trust this person. You feel safe. You feel like they will not judge you. There's like a non-judgmental environment around where you're talking. When you're talking to this person, you're expressing yourself. And that's why I talk mental health. These are the things we look at. We make sure that our clients are comfortable around us. You know, you can have a chat with us without feeling judged or condemned. I've heard a lot about therapists, especially in Nigeria, where people feel condemned or if people feel judged by their therapist. But that doesn't happen with us at Talk Mental Health. So when you're leaning on friends, partners, you have to be careful. No, I'm sure for someone you want to open up to, you would have understood the person for a while, right? So if you think this person would be dismissive of your feelings or would invalidate your feelings, there's no point sharing it. Keep it to yourself and look for someone else that you can lean on for support. So if you're on this live and you think, oh, because I'm married to this man or I'm married to this woman, he must be the person that must support me. That's not true. Your husband cannot be your therapist, or cannot always be your therapist, if I may say that. Your fiance, your parents, they aren't your therapist. No, it's not a must. They must not be. So if they don't have the capability to listen to you, to understand with you, not to invalidate your feelings, then don't put it on them. They can't support you. No. And they don't have to. Do you understand what I mean? They don't have to do that. So you have to look further. Find support elsewhere. There's always one person, two people. Even if you can't find in friends and partners, there are therapists, qualified professionals like us at Talk Mental Health that would help you, that would listen to you, and that you feel comfortable speaking to. All right? You're welcome, Funke. So any other person that has questions, that need help in any way, thank you everyone for joining. I can see some people just joined. Please make sure you watch the replay. I've talked about coping in difficult times. I know that difficulties is just different from one country to another. Yes, it's a lot in Nigeria currently. I know elsewhere there are a lot of challenges people are facing depending on where you are. But the most important thing is that you need to understand your mental health is important and you should do all you can to protect it. Make sure that you preserve your mental health by all means. So if you're overwhelmed, if you're not feeling okay, you're low in yourself and all, get help. Ask for help. Ask for help. Reach out. At Talk Mental Health, we offer therapy sessions, we offer counseling sessions and all of that. Reach out. Get the help you need. Don't wait till it gets worse before you do something about it. Get the help you need, because you don't want to wait till things get worse before you start to do something. Because without a stable mental health, it's difficult to be physically fit. It's difficult to be productive at work. It's difficult to be there for your children if you have children. It's difficult to be there for your partner if you're married or you are in a relationship. So your mental health is your priority, is your responsibility. Take care of it and be intentional about your mental health. So thank you everyone for joining. I remain Adeola Adeyemi. I'm a psychiatrist. I'm a psychotherapist. If you need my help, reach out to me. I'm also the founder of Talk Mental Health. If you're just joining, watch the replay and put in the comments. Yes, I'll put this on my IGTV. Put in the comments if you have questions, anything you want me to answer. Put in the comment section and I'm definitely going to answer your questions. And also, if you think this live session has been helpful, kindly once I put this video on my IGTV, kindly put in the comment section. We need your feedback. I need your feedback. Put in the comment section and let me know what you learned from today's session. So do enjoy the rest of your weekend and don't forget to be intentional about your mental health. Bye everyone.